We're gonna say that this was a Valentine's Day video because I'm 2 months late to Valentine's Day and I forgot to post one on Valentine's Day. Was I home for Valentine's Day? I was home for Valentine's Day, but we're gonna call this a Valentine's Day video. This is another video of me. This one is another one of me getting friend zoned, but I was the one doing the friend zoning to myself because I was being really stupid. So 8th grade. A lot of this stuff happened in 8th grade. A lot of crap happened in 8th grade. For girls, specifically. But, so in 8th grade, this, one girl, I knew her for about a year. Maybe a little less than a year, because, like, yeah, but a little less than a year. She was in a few of my classes. She walks up. I was at my locker putting books back in my locker, and then she walks up and she asks if I was going to the dance later. I said, well, yeah, I got tickets for it, so I might as well. She asked if I was going with anybody. I said, no. No. And then she's like, she did like one of these. I was wondering if you would want to go with me. And I was friends with this person. So, this girl. I was friends with this girl. And I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot with a skull denser than a box of bricks. So, so I thought it's like, she just wants to hang out. I don't hang out with people that much out of school, so I don't know what hanging out, I didn't know what hanging out outside of school was back then. I still don't really hang out with people. I need to get in touch with more people. But, so yeah, I thought it was like, okay, she just wants to hang out. That's cool. She just wants to hang out outside of school, because I've never really hung out with people outside of school at then, because I'm a loser. I go, yeah, sure. And she, like, very excitedly, like, as soon as I like, close my locker, and I'm like, yeah, sure. And she very excitedly grabs me by the wrist and starts pulling me in another direction. I'm like, whoa, okay, somebody's excited. Somebody's excited to go hang out for, like, an hour and a half. Because I'm a flippin' idiot. I'm denser than hard. Yanking me along by my wrist, and I'm trying to keep up. She was surprisingly fast for how small of a lady she was. She's yanking me along by my wrist, and we go over to the dance area, which is just the cafeteria. Lights are turned down black, and then they have like strobe lights and different stuff and music playing all over the place and all that junk. It was a fun time. She's yanking me around all over the place. Like, we were like dancing and having a good time for 10 seconds, and then she's one of her friends, and then she grabs me by the wrist and she yanks me over, and she's doing this so quickly, and I'm like not paying attention every time that she does it. Like, she could flip and rip my arm out of my socket. And like introducing me to a couple of her different friends, of whom I was not really paying attention to very much. So, you know, dunce. Some shenanigans went about, and we were talking, some shenanigans went about. She was like very excitedly talking to her friend, and her friend was like her friend was like looking over at me, like, and I'm just over here like, I'm like just listening to the music and like jigging around a little, and then she looks back at my friend, and then she's like saying, I can't hear anything that's going on, by the way. It is stupid loud in there, so I can't hear any of the back and forth conversation between the two of them. That's basically the entirety of what happens for the first hour of the dance until until we get over and like we're buying drinks and snacks and stuff, and we're at a place that I can finally hear my own thoughts, and I finally get a word in, and I'm like, I look over to her with all sincerity. I'm like, what the heck is going on right now? She's like, she looks at me like, really? Really? She's like, what's going on right now? She's like, I don't know, but I just really need a boyfriend. And I'm like, does that mean we're on a date? And then she starts laughing, and then the slow music kicks on, and then she grabs me by the wrist, and then she yanks me over to the dance floor again. And then I'm like, I don't know what happened, but in a matter of less than 10 seconds, all of a sudden, we are slow dancing, and I'm like flipping. I am very uncomfortable at this point because her face is like this far away from mine, and I'm like, and she's giving me like the stars in her eyes look, and I'm being incredibly confused and trying not to look scared. And like for a solid 3.5 minutes, she's like looking at me with this massive grin, the starry eyes, and I'm like, the entire time I'm like a turtle trying to get back into a shell, and just kind of like flipping and try to avoid the situation completely. I wear this because my neck is cold. Also, it's a good face covering when it's cold outside. But yes. And so I think it was only after that point, like only after that slow dance, that she finally started taking me seriously. When I was saying, like, I asked her multiple times within that same half an hour left of the dance. Hair in my mouth. No. And I know it's definitely not my hair, so even grosser. But she's pulling me around more and taking me over to people. She's talking to people. I'm standing there confused. Like, the entire time this is happening, I'm getting more and more confused the entire time. And then I'm still asking her, are we on a date? she'll every time, like for the first 2 or 3 times, she just look at me and then laugh and then keep going and yanking me in whatever direction. And then, like, finally, we were standing still for a second, and I'm like, seriously, I have no idea what's going on. Are we on a date right now? And she looks at me like, I still didn't get an answer. She just looked at me with sincere disappointment, and then less excitedly, and then she would be less excitingly pulling me around all over the place. That'd be about it. Until the end of the dance. Said bye, and then after that, neither of us saw each other again that day. About it. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. That one was just a matter of my own stupidity. Wasn't even like properly getting friend zoned. This girl very obviously, like looking back at it, this girl very obviously liked me. As well as most of the other girls that I make the stories, that I tell these stories about. But, you're just a flipping idiot. Yeah. I said I was bad with girls. If you're cringing right now, that is probably the correct response.